All right, so here we're looking at averages and range. And the reason why range is written separately is because range isn't actually an average. And I'll explain why once we've got our definitions of what the averages are. So there are three types of average, and they all begin with an M. You've got the mean, the mode, and the median. And the range is not actually an average, but it does go along with the averages. So the mean is what you get when you add all your numbers together, add all together, and then divide by how many. That's the mean. You've then got the mode, which is the most common. Some people remember it because most sounds a bit like mode. Mode is the most common number. It's the number there's the most of. And the median, which sounds a bit like medium, is the middle number. But a comment on that is that the numbers have to be in order before you pick the middle number. And finally, you have the range, which is how spread out your data is. It's the biggest take away the smallest. So it's biggest minus smallest. And the reason why range is a bit different to the others is because mean, mode, and median, they all tell you, if I was looking at two different groups of people and I wanted to know which group of people is taller, the mean, the mode, or the median would help me work out which group of people is taller, but the range wouldn't. It would tell me the difference between the tallest and smallest, but it doesn't tell me which group of people is actually taller. So it's not actually an average. But let's do a quick example. Let's say I want the mean of all of these numbers. So the first thing I'm going to do is add them all together. I've got a calculator here just to make it a bit quicker. 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6.5 plus 8. That comes to 34.5. That's what happened when I added them all together. And I divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I divide that by 6, and the mean is 5.75. The mode is the most common number, and I can see that there are two 5s, so the mode is just 5. For the median, it's handy because these numbers are already in order, but we've come across a different problem because there isn't actually a middle number. If I were to sort of cross off numbers from either end, I'm left with two numbers in the middle. And what happens in that case is that you have to find what number is halfway between them. Here we can see that what's halfway between 5 and 6, it's 5.5 or 5.5. So that one's not too tricky, but it can be tougher numbers. So you might have to think carefully about what's between the two numbers in the middle. And finally, I'll find the range as well. The range is the biggest, take away the smallest. That's 8, take away 4, which is 4. So those are the three averages and the range of that set of numbers. If you would like, you can pause the video and have a little go, because you've got a question there now. Find the mean, mode, median, and range of those numbers. I'm going to talk through the answer, so if you like, you can just leave the video playing as I talk through. So for the mean, we're going to have to add them all together. We're going to have to do 12 plus 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 20 plus 23. And again, I'm just going to put that into the calculator to get 12 plus 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 20 plus 23 equals 119. I've added them all together. Now I need to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 119 divided by 7 is 17. So that's the mean. The mode is quite simple. It's just the most common, which is 16. That was easy enough. There's just two 16s there, and it's the only number that there's two of. The median is the middle number, and in this case, there is one middle number. You can see now that I've circled it, there are 3 on either side, so it's in the middle. So 16 is the median. And finally, we have the range, which is the biggest number, which is 23. Take away the smallest number, so the range is 11. So those are the averages, including range, which is not an average. Yeah, that's our averages and range. Hope that helps.